MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for all our wonderful entrepreneurs out there. And have we got a treat for you, not just this week, but for the next 3 weeks. This is a masterclass on marketing. And who we've brought into studio is, in my opinion, one of the top marketing consultants in this country. Her name is Heidi Brauer. She is a chartered marketer, but in her previous life, she was the Chief Marketing Officer for Hollard Insurance and for Kalula. And now she calls herself, or others call her actually, the Brand Mama and a marketing consultant, which is quite boring. I like the Brand Mama. Welcome, Heidi.
Thank you.
Heidi. Oh, I made a mistake.
I know it's a brand error, that
it's
one.
It's a brand error. Heidi, see, I got it right now. So just in a nutshell, just quickly, what do you do now? You've left the big corporate world, you were working with big brands, and now you're working also with big brands or smaller businesses. Who are you working with?
A mixture, but more smaller and medium businesses who tend to not to have enough resource, strategic marketing resource. And I'm really helping people fall in love with their brands, because if they're in love with their brands, their people can be, and so can their consumers. And you have to find what that secret thing is to be in love with.
So we're going to spend the next 3 weeks with you, and you're going to give me and us a masterclass. And today we're starting off with what is a brand and why do we actually need one? So what is a brand?
Well, I'm going to show you a few little of my outstanding illustrations, and then you'll know why I'm in marketing and not in design. But I think the first thing is that we have to always think from the customer's point of view. Okay. We have to take our shoes off and put shoes on of our consumer and realize that they are faced with a multitude of brands and branding messages. And for the large part, actually, everything's parity. This is a quote from the Bible. We all say it all the time. We say, there's nothing new under the sun. And I went to Google it, and actually it's from the Bible. And if they wrote that then, can you imagine now there's really nothing new under the sun?
Yeah.
And most companies are actually selling the same stuff as the next guy.
Yeah.
And even if the viewers are going, oh no, but my product's fantastic and it's new and it's different, it will, if it's really good, it will only be new and different for a short period of time, because people will copy it if it's really good.
Yeah.
Think of Vitality in the early days of Vitality. It was novel.
Yes.
But soon everybody looked and went, that's a good idea. And then we had Multiply and we had all sorts of other things. And the same thing in medium and small businesses. If your idea is great, people are going to copy it. So what do we do?
Yeah, so what do we do?
What do we do? Well, what do we do? And you know that this is my favorite thing.
Yes.
Even though I can't really bake, is we have to build a cake. And we have to layer our product, which is typically similar or even the same. And before everybody gets upset and goes, no, mine is more special, just remember from the customer's point of view, how would you describe your business? And for that, we'll put cake aside for a minute, and I'm going to come back to it. And I'm going to ask you to think about Taylor Swift in a lift, if that's okay.
Yes.
So we've all heard about the notion of an elevator pitch, and I've tried to modernize it, because the minute you talk old-fashioned lingo to people, they switch off. So just imagine you're in a lift with Taylor Swift, and she's standing there with her checkbook, and she says, we're on floor 45. By the time we get to floor 50, I'm feeling so generous today. She's got lots of money, and she says, tell me about your business in these next 5 floors, quickly and succinctly, because if I dig it, I'm giving you money. Now, that's a silly little example, but if you can't describe your business in its distinctiveness, knowing that it's very similar to others probably, if you can't do that in a unique and clear and succinct way, we've already got a problem. And I'll tell you for free that most businesses can't. And even if perhaps the CEO can, his or her exco team probably can't say the same thing, and the rest of the staff can't say the same thing either. And how then can we expect consumers to understand how or even want to do business with us because they don't know what we are. And I had a real example of that once when I got a phone call from a radio host, the late Andy Rice. I was doing work at Kalula and he phoned and he said, I love your new ad. I'd love to have you on the radio. I said, great, when? And he said, now. I was like, okay. And I said, how long will the interview be? And he said, 30 seconds. And then I knew if I couldn't articulate it in the time it took for a little interview like this, speaking to the mic, we got a problem. So the Taylor Swift in a lift thing is really just test yourself and ask, if that happened, could I describe in a juicy, delicious way that Taylor would fall in love with my brand and write me that check?
I just want to ask about, because we're talking about brand now, but if you spoke about there's nothing new under the sun. So if I'm selling baked beans, and everyone else is selling baked beans, so there's no differentiator in the physical product or the actual product or service, then what are you saying? Are you saying that it's just the way that you're telling the story differently about your baked beans, or is it something else?
So it comes before the story. You have to know what the thing is that makes you special or different, and it can be the purpose that you exist, or what you want to bring into the world, or how you present yourself to the world. So I sold insurance for a long time, for 11 years. Imagine waking up every morning and going, goody, I get to sell insurance. But the insurance company I worked for, it's not a secret, it's Hollard, really was so focused on what their broader purpose was, which was, it's literally articulated like a purpose, to enable more people to create and secure a better future. Now, everybody can rally behind that and come to work every day knowing that that's what I do. And it gets baked into the brand in every single way it comes to life. And one needs to articulate that. And, that's when I talk about layering of a cake, is everything is the same. A bank is the same as another bank, but how the tone of voice is expressed makes one bank feel more connected to you than another. An airline, an insurer, baked beans even. When you stand and at that shelf and you pick that tin of baked beans, there are 1,000 things that go into it, not only price, that make you, and it could be my mom always used it, or friends I know, or that brand makes me feel special. There are 1,000 things, and that's why we have to think from the consumer's point of view and wrap our product in those things to make the cake yummy.
We're going to have to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation around brand with Heidi Brauer. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.